Phantom Sounds Production. What up, sound? What up, sound?
You were on the show, hit that plus sign. Let's see those juice boxes in the comments, y'all. If you are on the show, go ahead and hit that plus sign, y'all. Hold your horses and we'll tell you in just a moment. Let's see those juice boxes in the comments, y'all. I'll explain in just a moment. Let's see those juice boxes, y'all. If you are on the show, make sure you got that plus sign, y'all. Let's see those juice boxes in the comments. Hello, y'all, and welcome to the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am your host, Jen, aka Tonight Snow White. The Red Room Talk is a show about love, intimacy, and interpersonal relationships, including self, to erase different social stigmas. We are here to have candid discussions and cut through stigmas to show that in the end, no matter who you are or where you are from, we all have commonalities when it comes to matters of the mind and the heart. Nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that is okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking that little link in my profile and subscribing. Last episode was What's Love Got to Do with It? But this week's topic is, does love really conquer all? But tonight we are going to find out. Tonight in the Red Room, we have an all-star cast, y'all. We have my co-host, G-Way No Wait. We have King Teflon. We have Top Badge, Avonte Wright. We have Miss J. Lynn. Let's find out how the panel feels about love. But before we get started, this is a featured show, so all I ask is you keep your mind open and your language clean. So first things first, I'm going to let you guys in the box to introduce yourself, let you know what you got going on, or tell us about yourself, and then we can jump right in.
I feel, I
Hello,
feel,
beautiful people.
I feel underdressed myself.
So before we get started, anyone who is in the live, by the end of the live, the top 3 gifters of the live, they get a free graphic made by none other than me. So make sure y'all hit that gift box and make sure you hit that fave button on me and all these beautiful people. First things first, we are polite here in the red room, so we let ladies go first. So Miss Avonte, let us know about yourself and anything you got going on, and then we can move on to Miss Jaylen.
Hey everybody, it's me, Avonte. I don't really have much going on today. You guys know I'm a reality star. You guys know, I don't know if you guys know, I do television. I have been a model on many magazine covers. And I've been like one of the first top badgers. I've been a top badger here on Tag since probably the inception of top badges. So that's pretty much that's pretty much I don't have, come see me. Thanks.
Let's see. I've only been here what? Gonna be 4 years. I basically just stream, stay to myself. So, I'm here and there everywhere. So, you know, everybody knows me as the sweet one. That's
Oh,
it. Yeah.
And she is.
oh.
Teffy, what you got going on? Tell us about yourself.
Hey, how you doing? I'm King Teflon. I'm an artist on here. I've been on here also for about 4 years. Got a lot of day ones. A lot of people on here. Um, I always promote positivity. I think I always talk about protecting your energy, especially on here. I like to talk about topics like social media addiction, to like what we talking about love here, just real grown folk talk. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I do a little something like this. In here while we drawing this. In the live, I draw live, um, and I'm just me. I'm Teffy.
Teffy. He is a phenomenal artist. Make sure y'all tap into his live. He does draw on his live, y'all. Make sure you tap in.
And of course, it's me.
G-Way, aka Angry Bear, or whatever it is you are.
Oh, it's
I think
Methy the
it's
teddy
so.
bear. You know what I'm saying? Methy the love bear. I'm out here looking for a fix. I'm looking for a fix right now. It's Methy the teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? No, see where y'all know where y'all can find me every Saturday right here on the Red Room Talk. Every Monday, I'm on Hood Feud. Y'all better come through and get ghetto and get ratchet with me. But tonight, I'm on the move for the fix.
I'm done.
That is so cute.
I am your host, Jen and Juice. You can find me here every Saturday. I need to hear y'all say it. Every Saturday at 10 p.m.
Fire up
Eastern
in the
Standard
hat.
Time.
Saturday.
Saturday
Saturday.
on the Red Room Talk, y'all. If I'm not here, you can find me every Tuesday on Cut the Beat, also with my co-host G-Way or No Way. It's a new game show where you come test your musical knowledge to see if you can figure out the artist in the song. But other than that, you can also find me Fridays at I always mess it up, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Emoji Charades with Wancho Number. And then also Thursday at 9 p.m. my twin. I am the Getting Lit Studios artist, so make sure y'all pop up in there and check out that show every Thursday at 9 p.m. Y'all, this is a lot. It's a lot. It was a lot. Okay. Oh, I forgot about my shoe. Thank you for reminding me, twin. But yes, if you don't find me, then you can find me late nights into early mornings. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get right in there, y'all. Thank you. Um, Despite what the Beatles may tell you, love is not all you need. When it comes to the relationships, you need a whole lot more, like compatible beliefs, mutual respect, and communication. Love and compatibility are often mistaken as the same, but they are two very different things. Circumstances matter a lot. You can wholeheartedly love something that isn't good for you. Like my IBS-ridden friend who loves pizza, while he can love it and enjoy indulging in it, He pays the price a few hours later, along with those unfortunate enough to be in their company when their stomach starts aching, as he's glued to the bathroom for the rest of the night. It's unfortunate that circumstance overrides emotion like this, but there is only so much that can be done about it. My friend would like to enjoy pizza on the regular every day if he could, but he knows the outcome would make him miserable. And the same can be said about relationships. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you won't be miserable as a result. Speaking of circumstances, I want to know about a specific circumstance. I want to know, could you or have you dated someone long distance, and was it a good or bad experience? Tell me about it. Anyone can pick it up.
I tried to date someone long distance, and I think it's really difficult. It's just really hard because I feel like it's social media, because social media also kind of takes the attention away for him to get through. So he starts to entertain social media a lot more because I'm not there. So I feel like it's a little harder nowadays to date long distance than it was before.
Yeah, for sure.
I would never do long distance. That would never happen. Mm-mm.
Never.
Mm-mm.
Never.
Have you had a bad experience, or was it just, is
Mm-mm.
it just
I think
preference?
I learned that more when I got on tag, because I was one, like I was telling you, I ran into two people that I dated, you know, and they were here, and I was like, no wonder you wasn't paying me no attention. You have a slew of people, every day giving you attention, like you're texting or you're calling, and where are they? They're on either on a dating app, because there's so many. I didn't even know there was so many. You got Facebook, you got Snapchat. Everything is like everybody's engulfed into social media. Like that. For me, it's not so much love. That's not what you're finding. I think you're really like, I don't know what you're doing. Actually, somebody needs to explain it to me, because
I hear
I don't
Tiff.
understand. I don't understand, like, I guess because I'm not a social media person. I think I have maybe Facebook and Instagram, and my Instagram is like dead as a doornail. So it's like, yeah, like I really don't do anything. So it's like this is the most interaction that I have, and sometimes I just be like, wow. I'm like, wow. So I don't know, guys.
I'll go. As my experience, I think long distance is very, very challenging.
Mhm.
I did long distance even in a marriage. I mean, I spent 20 years in the military, and I would go down range for like 15 minutes. I mean, 15 months, and that was hard. So now single, you got the most comparable thing would be the online dating, which is so impersonal, with this new world of how to meet people and everything. I compare it to kind of like Netflix. You know, you go to Netflix. Back in the day, we used to watch TV. You knew what was coming on. Yeah, you even had a TV guide. You see, you look, you say, okay, this coming on this channel, this coming on that channel. So you were able to pick because you didn't have as many options. You know what I'm saying? Now we got Netflix. We don't know what the hell to watch. So much to the point. Would you watch? Would you watch? Would you watch? Like, and you know, I feel that in doing that, social media gives people more of an inclination to check people. You know, you got a lot of friends. I know y'all probably have a lot of friends on your Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They're not really friends. They just surveillance. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They always, let me see what they're doing. They got a car now. Oh, they got this now, whatever, you know. So it's more inclined to just check things. And then when you meet somebody, first thing you're doing, you want to background check. You want to check them, do a soft check, whatever. Like nobody's trusting nobody these days, you know. And so with that comes, we get red flags, red flag watching. You know what I'm saying? And in a minute that something pop up, boop, I'm going to the next option. That's my experience when I'm getting. I just experienced it the other night. You know what I'm saying? Like, had a great conversation, da da da. Then poop, ghost face killer. You know, so like, what we
It's
gonna
rough
do?
out
The
here.
key is it communication? Is it meeting the right energy? Is it meeting the I don't know.
Well, in my case, I'm an over the road truck driver, so long distance is every day for me. So I mean, I can do it, but it's got to be that right person that's strong enough to deal with it. At the end of the day, because I'm gone. I'm gonna see you maybe 5, 6 days out the month if you're lucky. Bills got to be paid. But I'm gone. I got to know I can be able to trust you. You got to know you can be able to trust me. Communication is the number one key in that if it is going to work. And a lot of people have lost their ways on loyalty. A lot of people ain't loyal. Like Teflon just said, they see that red flag and they out. It ain't even got to be a red flag. It be turning red. They out. They gone. Why?
Right.
Because they got 15 other apps they can go on to find somebody else that's just like you or seem like they could be better than you.
True.
And it's tough, man. It's really tough with the long distance. It can work, but it takes two people that can come together and actually have an understanding. You got to have an understanding. Because if you ain't got an understanding, you're gonna drive each other crazy. It's not gonna work at all.
For sure. So for me, I've done this a lot. Okay. Hey. If any of you guys are trying to request the box, wait till the very end and you guys can tap in, but please feel free to comment, y'all. But for me, it is very difficult. It is not without work. It's a lot of work on top of what is already a work for a relationship. But a long distance relationship takes a lot of trust, and that's something I'm very tight with. Okay, you have to grip it from my cold hands. Okay, you have to grip that trust from me, and it's difficult. It takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of understanding. It takes a lot of quality time versus quantity of. Most of the time it's been a bad experience, because it always ends badly. And it's not, I won't say badly as far as like toxicity, but I mean it always ends up like just it's just not gonna work. Like we live a world away, and for me especially, like I said, without that trust, I don't know what you're doing all the time. And the same thing for them. I know I'm a trustworthy person. I know how I am, but I don't know how you are. So you start to get into that, like, oh, what are you doing? Or you just don't know. And then you feel like that. For me, it's like, physical touch is one of my love languages, not the top one, but you have to have that physicality at some point. I'm not saying you can't love somebody who you've never even met, because sometimes it happens that way too, where you're on the phone and you feel like you feel like you're there, you feel like you're together, but there comes a point when it's like, okay, it's not enough. I need to have that physical touch, and I'm not talking about just sex, but I mean that physical touch. I need a hug when I cry. I need someone who's gonna just be there in the physical aspect, like even just sitting and watching a movie. At some point, enough is not going to be enough to just have a phone call or a FaceTime. Exactly. Even like on the phone, like, yeah, you can get to know someone as far as like their mental, but I need to know how you react in real life. Like I need to see it, because you can be whatever you want to be over the phone. Okay. But I want to see how you look when you're angry. I want to see how you look when you're anxious. I want to see how you look when you're sad or you're in a position that you can't get out of. I need to see those things, and in the physical, because you just don't know until you see someone physically in public. How do you treat the wait staff? Things like that are really meaningful to me. How do you drive? Am I comfortable with you driving? Like the physical, you have to, at some point, it's just not going to be enough to be over the phone, or, you have to really separate, like I said, the quality of time versus quantity, and eventually it's just not enough. Do you guys have anything more to say about that? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And with the driving thing, I just want to throw that in there. Riding with somebody for the first time is more scary than kissing them these days. Because some of y'all don't know how to drive.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't drive, so you don't have to worry
Because
about
that,
that. I don't even have a
oh, yeah.
license.
Yeah,
That's something
I've
I
heard
judge
that
Everybody
people
line
off
knows.
before.
so, like,
I can
I judge
drive.
people
Woo,
off their
woo,
driving.
woo, whoa.
Do I feel comfortable even if you're speeding? Do I feel comfortable with you driving? Like I know some people like they like the way they drive. If I don't feel comfortable driving with you, that's already a off the nope. And the surrender of the first kiss is huge for me. So you're talking about if you're starting off a long distance relationship and you haven't met yet, especially, and you're talking long distance, that first kiss is detrimental. You could be all things in the mental aspect, but if that's not there in that the surrender of the first kiss, that is detrimental to a love story for me. I'm gonna judge a lot off that first kiss.
Back to
But if
the
you guys are
driving.
just pulling up, that's okay. We do have so much more to come, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday at 10
Saturday.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk, y'all. We just discussed, could you or have you dated someone long distance? Was it a good or bad experience? I think we all kind of, yeah. But I want to talk about compatibility. Love does not equal compatibility. If you're practicing Wiccan, dating a born again Christian who just announced a campaign to retake Jerusalem but really wants to make it work, you're in for a bad time. It might seem fine while you're having a good time cruising around town on your broom and chugging down the communion wine he brought. But what happens when he starts saying your friends need to be burned at the stake? You'll be in constant conflict. That's a little Halloween joke. And at a certain point, you'll need to get off the roller coaster or face a life of misery. Speaking of compatibility, I want to know, do you think that opposites
Mhm.
attract? I want to know why. And then, or would you rather date someone who is more like yourself? And explain why. Do you think that opposites attract, or would you rather date someone like yourself?
I do think opposites attract for some people. I think it's different for different people. But like and it depends on what what sign you are too. Like opposites can attract, well, one can complement the other as far as having something that the other one misses in themselves as far as an attribute or characteristic and stuff, um, one person might be very forthright and speak out, whereas the other one's a little more recluse, but they are in sync as far as what they're talking about, so I've had that where people could finish my sentences and stuff, but with opposites attracting and stuff. I think it's an interesting thing if you're thinking about, like, building together or whatever. But at the same time, it could be a double-edged sword. You know, as easy as it can go to the right and be great for you, it could be just that much, against you, going to the left. So, and then at the same time with similar, with being too similar, you can bump heads with it. So it's a fine balance, and it's the chemistry. When
Mhm.
when and that's why I just leave it all the time.
I agree with everything actually he said. It's a fine balance. It can be a very good thing and it can be a very bad thing.
Mhm.
Because if I'm like, I think someone here says he's laid back and they like a woman that's outgoing. And that's great sometimes. But then sometimes when you just want to be laid back and your woman is outgoing, now you want her to be laid back too. That's not who she is. So you can't expect that. So that's when it starts to become a problem for you. So I guess is back what Teflon said, it's a double-edged sword. So you kind of gotta balance it out. Yeah, you gotta kind of balance it out.
You know what it is? We have a checklist where we see people and say, okay, we want them like this, right? This is the way that, like, they people use their signs. Like, what sign are you? I'm far from a Capricorn. I don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? I am me. I am who I am. Like you're supposed to take people, right out of the package. You know what I mean? Because we don't come with a book. We don't come with a manual. Our parents, took care of us and they didn't know what to do with us. They just knew feed us, clothe us, educate us, kick us out of the nest, when we got old. Some people still at home on the couch, but that's here nor there. What I'm trying to say is that you can't tell someone this is how I want you to be. And you know what's the other bad habit people have? You give too much information about yourself, and people will be like, "Oh, that's what she's looking for." No, you have to keep this closed, open these up, and listen to each other, communicate, understand each other. Don't try to be, oh, well, if she doesn't exercise, I don't want her. Because I've gotten that. And I was like, I'm a big girl. I love to eat. You understand? Give me a candy bar. You understand? I don't hide it. Okay? I don't hide it. It's all over. But the thing is that, but some men will settle for less, be like, because I had that. I had a guy come and say to me, oh, I don't date women like you. I was like, well, why are you in my house? There goes the door. I opened the door. I was like, you could walk out and I slammed the door. Like you understand that people, if you do not want someone, if that person doesn't fit what you want, don't settle for less. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I want someone like my alpha attitude. Don't take my shit because I got a
So,
mouth.
so you like
Don't
them
take
to,
my shit.
so you
Yeah.
like your mate to be kind of like you with an alpha. So you don't
Yeah.
want a beta, someone that's kind of calm,
Un poquito,
somebody that's kind
un poquito, un poquito, un poquito,
of, okay,
un
okay.
poquito, un poquito, un poquito, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of men that are very smart. They're very like, but they're book smart, but they're not people smart.
Mhm.
There's a difference. They're book smart, but they're not people smart. They're very insensitive.
Hmm, interesting. In
Okay.
my case, I think opposites do attract, and I think similarities do attract. I agree with everybody. I mean, it's kind of like pick your poison. What do
Mhm.
you prefer? What makes you happy? You like I said, I'm the type of guy like dude in the comments said, I'm laid back. I want me a woman that's outgoing. Like if I'm laying on the couch, babe, get up, let's go to Six Flags. Shoot, let's go. I was laying here chilling. I ain't had no plans, like I like stuff like that. But it could also be a double negative at the same time because I might want to chill that day. I might be tired. And, let's go Six Flags. No, let's sit down and watch this movie. No,
All right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like to each his own. You got to kind of pick your poison. So it goes both ways for me.
Like I think with that though, it all boils down to communication. You know what I'm saying? Like um, getting that vibe is that first connection. But with me, like for me, for an example, to the one that I'm gonna end up with is gonna have the green light. They gotta be mentally, spiritually, and physically connected to me. And that's how I simplify it because if I overthink it and everything, I'm gonna die old with a dog. You
That
understand? Like
you just heard my dog.
so
She tried to tell me something.
and
Mhm.
the thing is, like we can overthink it to the point where we got all this whole list of things they need to be, and then to the point where you turn into a narcissist.
Mhm.
You understand? You
Yeah.
turn into a narcissist because you up here wanting them to be this and wanting to be that and wanting to be this and everything, but you ain't even checking with you up at the same time. So the communication and that vibe, it got to go three ways with mentally, spiritually and physically, and in that order too. Because physical touch, yeah, it's great and everything, but then in lower cases, it causes babies, other problems. You know what I'm saying? It causes residual.
See,
You know what I'm saying? Like so,
Yeah.
They say
not just babies, it causes other things like uh, problems, just
Sure.
issues
There
and
you go.
challenges,
There
if
you
you
go.
will. you know. So the time, the quality spent together, even if it's long distance, that communication got to be given. And then you know what? A balance of
Point.
that too. A balance of that too. I've talked to people on the phone, like, you know, how many people meet people, like you meet somebody and you get these good morning texts like all the damn time, and what you doing? Good morning, what you doing? I mean, the proper communication. Like,
What
come
you
on, man.
doing me to
Like,
death? Oh
come on,
my
good
God. I'm
morning
doing
me to
the same
death.
thing
Like,
I was
say
doing
something
10 minutes
different,
ago. Can I go
you
pee?
know?
Like,
Right. You know, like have meaningful discussions and shit, you know, research together. You know what I'm saying? Read a book together and go over like the you know what you think about it, and like form like a mental build up of things. You know, become fucking friends. You ever
Mm-hmm.
thought about that? Like become friends. You
But
know,
they, they,
but
they, they
true.
skip that step these days.
yeah,
I always like, I always like point it to like my mom and pop, and it's because they actually met. They were long distance. They met online. On Tagged actually 15 years ago, 14-ish maybe. I don't know the exact time, but yes. But I'm going to tell you about them. So my pop is nothing that she thought she wanted in a man. 15. Okay, yep. That's my
Mhm.
sister, y'all. 15 years. He is nothing that she wanted in a man or thought she wanted, but he was everything she needed. They are like this intricate balance, and my sister will agree. They are like this yin and yang of each other. She is more the alpha. Not saying he's not an alpha man, because I'm not gonna take his balls from him. But she is more the alpha. She wears the pants, but he allows it. But she also
For sure.
knows when to let him be a man. When a man is to be a man, she knows when to step aside and let him wear the pants. But the thing is, like I said, he was nothing that she thought she wanted. And sometimes I think the opposites work, but they have just enough similarities that they created this bond. Like the things that were similar were great things, but the things that are opposite are the things that are like, okay, what she lacks, he has. What he lacks, she has. And I think that's why it works so well. Like I said, it's that yin and yang of each other.
The balance.
Everything, he is everything she needed, but nothing that she wanted. And I think sometimes you got to really step back and not look at what you want and really realize what it is that you need and figure that out. But if y'all are just pulling up, it's okay. It's okay. You have not missed much. We still have a lot more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk. We just discussed, could you or have you dated someone long distance? And do you think opposites attract, or would you rather have someone like yourself? I think we kind of agreed on that the opposites can attract, but it's good to have someone who also is like yourself. But now I want to talk about when you add in a little controversy or trouble. Okay? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Love can't conquer the toxic ones. Like I said, my friend can love pizza all he wants. He can love it so much his heart bursts and can't imagine his life without it, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much he wants pizza to be compatible with his stomach because circumstances have deemed them incompatible. And he's not willing to be miserable for the sake of enjoying pizza once in a while. And that's okay. His love conquers nothing. It's toxic for him and he knows it, so he stays away. Now take a relationship. There doesn't have to be a toxic person in a relationship for it to turn sour. Sometimes two people together make it toxic at no fault of their own by being incompatible. That doesn't mean there is no love between you. One thing I think of is an unfaithful person. It's a little toxic, isn't it? Someone who just can't be faithful. I think you're not only toxic to your partner, but you're toxic to yourself. If you can't even be faithful to yourself and faithful to your partner, that is toxic in its own. But what I want to know, can you forgive someone for cheating? And if you could, what would it take? What would it take? If you could.
I've forgiven for cheating. And it took honesty. Because I never view cheating having to do with anything that I'm doing or anything that I'm not doing. Cheating is definitely something that is going on within that person that is doing the cheating. So when I did forgive, it actually made us a little bit stronger in communication, because now we realized that there was something going on that he needed, that he was searching for. So our communication got a little bit stronger, so I did forgive. But the honesty and the willingness to try to make me feel comfortable in every aspect of the continuation of the relationship is what allowed me to forgive.
For sure.
This one's kind of a little tricky for me because my situation is a little different. I spent 20 years in the military, and my experience is synonymous to what military families go through. With the realm of cheating.
Mhm.
As a non-commissioned officer, higher non-commissioned officer, if you cheat, you can be held as an example. It's against the law. It's against
Mhm.
UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. Okay. Um, if I cheat, everybody that eat at my table at home get affected. I lose rank, I lose money, I even lose my family. You know, um, if the wife cheats, nothing happens. So, but also,
That's deep.
if it cheat, everything happens because, like, I could say, okay, you know what? The common answer is, oh, if somebody cheating or whatever, just leave them, just leave. Yeah, well, kids got to eat. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard of cheaper to keeper? you know, in that situation, that predicament is it's a little tricky. So yeah, my situation is a little different. Um, reason why when I'm out, I don't hold anybody that I get involved with thus far, being single, to those standards. I had to heal from that, and because it's a little different situation.
Mhm.
It's a little you know, so that's why my
Cheaper to
answer is a little different.
keeper. I have
I mean,
forgave for cheating before. At the time I ain't really know no better because it was more so of I forgave the person because I ain't want to be alone. Like they was like all I known for like 3, 4 years at the time. So it was like, dang, if I cut you off, I'm coming home to nothing. Nobody here, nobody to cook. I don't mind cleaning, but just that warmth of home was gonna change. And I chose to stay. And I mean it worked out for some time. It definitely made us closer together after it happened because she was on pins and needles, like the communication ramped up tremendously. Went from 1, 2 texts a day to 9, 10 calls, 15 texts a day. Like I'm here, I'm there, I'm here, I'm there. And I ain't asking you to do it, but that was just her conscience dealing with her because the person who cheats, you got to deal with that. Whether that person decides to leave or stay, you got to deal with that. That's a constant battle that you got to deal with on a daily basis. That's your conscience. And then in the back of your mind, if I forgave you, it's like, dang, is he cheating? Or what can I do to avoid him going out trying to get some get back or some payback? I mean, it's a very complicated situation. Like Teflon said, if you're in the military, that's definitely a no-no.
that's
That's
definitely
a
different.
that's definitely a no-no. That's the difference. Like you said, you lose rank, you lose pay. If you're the male, you can get locked up for that. Seriously, for real, for real. If she really wants to be
Oh,
that nasty, she dishonorable discharge all day.
Well,
But
it
I
don't
think
even
it,
have
I
nothing to
think,
do with her. It's with the commander.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, military wives, they got the
Yeah,
commander's number. They got the
yeah.
commander's number.
Oh yeah, they snitching.
wow.
I'll
I
tell
didn't
you
know
like
that. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
I didn't. Me
Mhm.
too. I didn't even know that either. But I'll tell you like this. I don't think I experienced cheating. I think I experienced more who they were. Like you know, dealing with an alcoholic and a drug addict. Both I was engaged to both of them. We took about 20 something years ago. But the thing is, this is the way I say. if you cheat, I already forgave you. That I'm gonna tell you right now. I already forgave you. If you lie to someone or you do whatever, just forgive whoever, no matter what it is, no matter the situation. Just forgive them right then and there, because you know what it is. Like I said, will I forgive them? I already forgave them. That's why I was like, no, like I already forgave them, because if you forgive people, you just got to forgive people. Period. No matter who they are, no matter what, your children, your mom, your dad, whoever. It don't necessarily have to be a relationship. You have to forgive people because you don't carry that, you know, oh my God. You understand? Yeah, you have to forgive. That's it. Point blank period. Across the board. Just forgive them. And then they're gonna feel it. They're gonna be like, wow, you know what? You teaching them a lesson. You're teaching them, saying that you're the bigger person. You're the bigger person. You get what I'm saying? Like, cause the next time, that's why, you know what? That's why you get the phone calls like 6 months later,
Yeah.
or a year later, or 2 years later. I had one change their phone number, and then and call me because they were blocked. They were like, but I was like, but nothing, and you got blocked again.
So how do you hold a person accountable? So I agree, yes, forgive, but it's also about accountability. And if you don't hold people accountable, they become accustomed to certain behaviors. You know
Comes
what
a
I'm
trend.
saying? And it becomes
Codependent.
a trend. So how do
Right.
you hold people accountable when I'm listening to you and you say you forgive? I'm not saying don't forgive, because I understand what you're saying when you say forgive.
Oh, but you
But
know what? You let them go. Like you don't even, like, you be like, okay, but you
okay.
let them go. Like you do not even cross paths anymore. That's their penalty. Like, you don't have to give yourself to them anymore. Like, that's gonna be their punishment. And they're gonna come and they're gonna realize that later on, as time goes on, they're gonna be like, but why I can't speak to her? Why I can't be around? You get the phone calls and they're looking for you because they're already paying for it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they can't
So,
interact with you anymore.
so when
They
you
you keep them accountable. Keep them accountable.
so when you forgive, you saying that you won't stay. So you've never forgiven someone and stayed after they've cheated on you.
Oh, I never had. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've never been in that situation. I've been in a situation where, they messed up what we had, like our relationship, not necessarily cheating. Like I said, it's something with them, and I forgave them, and that, but we were friends. We friends. I'm still friends with one of them. One of my, ex fiance passed away. He's no longer with us. But this is what I'm saying. I spoke to him a week before he died, and him and I had a long conversation. He was like, "I always love you." I said, "I always love you too," but we just couldn't be together. We just had to grow apart because we were together for so many years. We started out so young, and we grew apart. So, and we you still can speak to people eventually. You know what I mean? But you got to give people, let them know what they did wrong. It's wrong. That's it. Like, it's their fault. It could be my fault. I could have did something too. You know what I mean? Like, it goes both ways. You know what I mean? It goes
So,
both ways.
so for me, I've been in the position. I was married for 6 years. He was unfaithful several times. Yep. That's why now I can't forgive someone for cheating. I can
Mm.
forgive. I'm being nice now. I'm being nice. I can't forgive them for cheating, but I can forgive them as a whole. As far as
Come on now.
I can't forgive. I can forgive, but I can't forget. Like, I can't now. Now I have to. If you cheat on me now, I have to just move on, because it's a choice. It's not a mistake. I don't believe it's a mistake. I will never believe it's just a mistake. You made a choice in that moment, and you did not put me in the equation at all when you made that choice. Because if you did, you would never have went through with it. So now it's kind of one. I'm like Judge Judy. It's one and done. Okay, there is no second chances with me. And I'm not meaning like, okay, if we get into an argument and then not everything's a deal breaker, okay? But that is one thing that's a deal breaker for me, because you made a clear choice to disregard your love for me. You put that aside in that moment, and that choice is detrimental. That choice was detrimental, and I can now no longer accept that. I can no longer accept it as a mistake. It was a choice. Now, with that being said, it took a lot for me when I did go through it to forgive. But did I really ever forgive? I don't think I did, because it was never made up for. Now, had he actually made up for it and stopped cheating, it might have worked out and we might still be married today. But the fact that he never could make up for it, the fact that he never put in the effort to make me feel like he was sorry, to make me feel secure, to give me that reassurance, it could have worked. But the fact of the matter is, you are going to have to prove yourself every day for the rest of your life when you make a decision like that.
Well,
Y'all want to know what my forgiveness is?
What?
My forgiveness is that they get to breathe. I can love them from afar. They get to breathe from now on.
Sorry.
Okay? That's my forgiveness.
I think it comes down to forgiving yourself too. Because I think, I'm going to be honest, with that being said, I think really where the forgiveness comes in was at the end of it, it was never anything that he did to me. It was never just a cheating thing. It was definitely an abusing thing too. But as far as that, it was really honestly,
yes.
Why can't I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for allowing it more than once. I had to forgive myself. So I had to take the time, and really it was me the whole time that really, it was me that I had to forgive, because I think I held on to that for many years. Like, why did you allow this? Why, we wouldn't be like in this position. We wouldn't be, if I would have just nipped it in the butt the very first time, it probably would have went a little differently. So I think, and forgiveness, yes, it's definitely for yourself. But later on, we're talking 4 years down the line, when we finally had a conversation and we could not cuss at each other or fight, I could finally lay it to rest. But what I realized, because I think a lot of people, when they talk about forgiveness, what they're looking for is closure. 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 And I'm going to tell you this.
There you go.
Closure is bull. It. Okay? Closure is just that. It's bull. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, when I got that moment and I had them, I waited for it for years. Like, why couldn't you just 5 years ago do this? But really what I realized, is I didn't need it. I had already gotten to a place without even realizing. I'd already gotten to a place where I no longer needed that. And I think a lot of people thinking about forgiveness, what they're really looking for, it's not forgiveness, it's closure. It's closure in themselves, so they can tie up that feeling of ugh. I think they're really looking for closure. It's not just a forgiveness thing. Yes, you can forgive, but when you say that and then you bring it up the next time you're arguing, did you really forgive? Did you? I don't think so. But if you were just pulling up, y'all, that's okay. You can find us every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk, y'all. You haven't missed it all. We just discussed, could you have dated someone long distance? Do you think opposites attract? Can you forgive someone for cheating? No. But I want to talk about forever, okay? Love is not just once in a lifetime. The fortunate thing about love is that it isn't unique. The idea of one true love is a hopeless romantic myth. Most people love multiple times before finding someone they really work with, and that is so true in history that I've seen. Sometimes you need a break after love, and that's okay. But don't fall into the mindset that you'll never love again. There are over 7.34, something like that, billion people on this earth. And subtracting the amount of people eligible makes the pool even smaller. But it is still a significant number. For the sake of argument, let's say only 0.1% of the world is eligible. That's still 7 million people. It's ridiculous to think that you only have love with one of them. So now I would like to get into your mindset. I want to know how you think. Do you think that love is forever? Do you think that there is only one true love? Why or
Yes,
why?
I do. And it sounds selfish, but it's the thing that we go back to when we're not in love.
Mm.
Self-love. It's unconditional and it's forever.
Okay, that
Okay.
was cool.
So
That was cool.
we lose
Right. I'm
sight
like,
Okay, I see. I see. I
and we,
see where you went.
and we lose sight of it when we are involved with somebody else and we go through trauma. And then we come back to it. We learn how to love ourselves so that we can establish requirements and boundaries for the next partner to actually be accepted into whatever you got going on.
Mhm.
Because if you
sure.
can't
So
love
yeah,
yourself, you can't love nobody
love
else.
love is forever. It's for yourself because you're gonna come in this world alone. You're gonna go out of this world alone.
No.
Naked and
Bottom line. And people got it conflicted. They think unconditional love is for everybody. No, what unconditional love is for women and children and fathers and parents. The love you have for your children is unconditional. If you got your children in the water and you got your significant other in the water, who you going to first? Who you gonna pull in the boat first?
Come here, son.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
He said, come here, son.
I mean,
You
it just
little
is what
Jimmy.
it is.
You know, I was just texting Jen and told her that we have to love ourselves first. We come first. Well,
Mhm.
God comes first. We come first
Hopefully.
because that's what I was saying. If we don't love ourselves, how are we gonna love anybody else? RuPaul said it the best. He says it all the time.
Who?
And the thing is that that's the whole thing. Like, how you gonna love someone else and you just all messed up inside? You know, that- like Jen, you have to forgive him because you're gonna rob yourself of your blessings of who's gonna come across and steal your heart. You know what I mean? Like it is done, is done. It's he's gone. He can't hurt you no more. You know, he can't do anything to you no more. You have to really let it go. You gotta let it go. Because if not, you're never gonna get your Prince Charming Snow White. Well, your dwarfs.
Please come kiss me, Prince Charming.
Right.
Just want some porridge.
She's just perfect for it too, right?
I am, aren't I?
Yeah,
I need
she's
my
just
one, my
perfect for
prince, my one true love.
it. We should do a bachelorette and put you on as a black the bachelorette and get you some juice.
Mhm.
Lordy.
What do you think, G-Way? What do you think?
I agree with pretty much what everybody's saying, man. You gotta love yourself first at the end of the day. If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And I've been in that situation to where I was so much in love with that person that I forgot to love myself and I lost myself because I found myself doing things that I would never do, saying things that I would never say. Disregarding people that was only trying to help because I was all about that person. Like at the end of the day, you got to learn to love yourself. And if somebody breaks your heart, fix yourself and love yourself before you go and mess up somebody else. Because if you don't take that time to heal, it's not going to work. Getting under the next person is not the solution. You got to take that time, you got to heal, and you got to get back to loving yourself and liking the person you look in the mirror at every day.
'Cause
And that's
hurt
just
people
me.
hurt people.
Facts.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes, we do.
Big
That's right.
facts.
We're human. We are humans.
Mhm.
That's all we know.
On Jesus and Sandals. So,
I have to say one more thing too. I
sure.
think I believe totally in positive affirmations and manifesting what your outcomes are. Um, the main thing I do that I've done the best in recovering from a divorce was going back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? Researching, reading, like books like the Law of Attraction, Human Design. Um,
Got that book.
like yeah. Also, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I mean, they all are similar in talking about the power of thought perception. And the main thing is you stay positive, you stay in the positive light, positive things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can actually manifest your soulmate. You can
Yes.
manifest your soulmate. You
Yes.
can you can keep speaking it out and praying to it or whatever way you want to do it, meditate about it and whatever. It will pop up. It will happen. It probably won't happen the way you exactly bring it around to it, but it will happen, even inadvertently, Um, so staying positive in mind, because everything is about our response to things. So good fruit, what it says, it says bad good thoughts produce good fruit, bad thoughts produce bad fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Staying positive and also sticking to a schedule, you know, reprogramming ourselves because we get programmed into a certain way of thought and mindset, and surrounding yourself around positive people too. Picking your circle the right way is the way to move forward, and good things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everything falls in place, actually.
There's
that's
a
my
book
motto.
called The Power of the Subconscious. Best book ever. So that's kind of basically putting all of the manifestation into like making it make sense. And it's
Hmm.
basically your subconscious. And that that holds a lot of power. And like you said, you can manifest whatever it is that you want, but you
Hmm.
have to really believe it and have faith in whatever your subconscious is thinking. So sometimes we try to manifest money, but we have broke thoughts. So your subconscious, and
I
you're like,
like
why
that.
am I not getting it? And
I
it's just
like
the
it.
subconscious is really what holds the key to
Hmm.
everything. So you gotta definitely control that, your subconscious, not your conscience, but your subconscious.
That's
Yeah.
true. It's like what you feed yourself is what you get reap. It's like planting a seed. You plant a negative seed, that's what's going to grow, is that negativity.
Mhm.
Facts.
But to do with, do I think there's one true love? You know, since I was a little girl, I always thought that, right? I always thought my very first favorite movie, I know it's going to sound crazy, but my very first favorite movie, I can recite the whole thing still to this day. I don't know how my mama let me watch this. Sorry, mom. But Pretty Woman was my very favorite. And it was because when they talked about at the end, he's like, alas, lady, because she had the same mindset as me. She had this mindset of like waiting for this knight in shining armor. But I realized growing older that I don't want a knight in shining armor. I want a man who has tattered armor, who rusted, and there might be pieces missing because he fought to get to me. Do I think that there's one true love? Maybe. But there's this saying and there's this poem that I've ran across, and I always think about it because if I felt like there was a one true love, that would mean that my ex or some exes was, but no, 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 no. It says we fall in love with three people in our lifetime, each for a specific reason. The first one we usually meet in our teenage years or our younger years. It's an innocent love, one that sounds like the love we read in fairy tales, or so it seems. The second one, the one that's supposed to be the tough love, the one that will teach us lessons about who we are and what we're searching for in love, that is the love that hurts, full of lies, pain, and manipulations. The third one, you don't go looking for this one. It comes to you. You'll find yourself caring about this person without trying. They look nothing like your usual crush types. Thank you, thank you. But you get lost in their eyes daily. You see their beauty and their imperfections. You hide nothing from them. You want marriage and family with them, and you thank the universe for them. And when I think about that, I think about like it gets me excited because I think about, you know what, the one for me is still on the horizon. And I'm one of those people, like when someone rejects me or a relationship doesn't work, I don't get bitter. it honestly makes me excited for the person that I'm supposed to meet. You really, it's like when I think about it, I'll be like, sit down so I can see the man who is standing behind you.
Mm.
That's really what I think. You're really just putting me closer to the person that I'm supposed to be with. The world is the only one. I mean, but in my mind, I want to believe that there's that one true love. But maybe the way we look at it is the one true love is the person that we're really waiting for. Maybe that's the true love, the person who you end up with, not the ones along the way, but maybe the one true love is the one you end your life with.
Right.
I look at my mother and you know a lot of people like you know your mother, they were together for almost 30 years, but her true love is the man she waited 30 something years to find.
Mm-hmm.
And they found each other in their mess, but man, that's got to be something. You fought wars to get to each other, you know, and that is worth a little something. So that's what I think about. I think about the person who you fought wars to be with, the person who you went through all the heartache to be with. I think that's the person. That's your one true love. Anyways. So, if you are just pulling up, you're late. You can find us every Saturday on the Red Room Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are running a little behind, but that's okay. We just discussed, have you dated someone long distance? Was it a good or bad experience? Then we discussed, do you think opposites attract, or would you rather someone like yourself? Also, can you forgive someone for cheating? And do you think love is forever? Now I want to dig a little deeper, y'all. Sure, it's romantic to imagine ourselves as star-crossed lovers that defy odds and love each other no matter what. But could you imagine if a compromise between you and your partner meant giving up a part of who you are? You might say that they don't truly love you. But being stubborn doesn't make love less valid. Sometimes a compromise isn't being true to yourself. If you're an anxious introvert and your partner wants to keep up with your party animal lifestyle, I think Andre also said something like that in the comments earlier. Boom. You could put up with it for a while. But if a central part of who your partner is makes you unhappy and they want somebody to embrace that, then you will be in an unhappy relationship sooner or later. There will be a ride or die moment that love can't conquer. And you'll have to choose between staying in an unhappy relationship or making the painful decision to leave. It doesn't have to be someone's fault. Relationships can just fizzle out. But to the ones who want to stay and make it work, what I want to know is, what's more important in love? The power to forgive or the willingness to sacrifice for your partner? What's more important in love? The power to forgive or the willingness to sacrifice for your partner?
The willingness to sacrifice for me. Because if I know at the end of the day that you willing to do anything for me, then I'm gonna do anything for you. You know, if I know at the end of the day, oh, I just lost my job, I'm not panicking because I know you got my back until I find another job. You know, like that's just everything for me. Somebody that's willing to hold me down when I can't hold myself up, you know, or lift me up if it ain't even got to be financially. It could be mentally. I might be down or depressed or upset about something. You know what I'm saying? It's that person that's always there to have your back. You know, that's always gonna be that rock for me,
Happy belated
in my
birthday.
opinion. Happy
Yeah.
belated birthday.
Thank you. I feel like,
Happy belated birthday.
thank you. I feel like I need both because what you just said, G-Way, is very important. But no one on this panel is perfect. We are going to make mistakes and we're going to need forgiving. So in a relationship, that's really big. So I feel like I don't think we have to take one or the other. I feel like you need both in a relationship. You need the power of forgiveness and you need exactly what G-Way said. Like I don't feel like one or the other. I feel like you will be cheating yourself because there is no way that we are not going to do something in our relationship that we are going to need forgiveness for. So yeah, you can be down for me when I ain't got no money, you got it. But if you do something and I'm looking at you crazy from that point on, what is our relationship? It's not going to be a happy one.
Get toxic at that point.
Yeah, it's toxic.
I look at it a little bit different. I mean, I agree.
Of course
However,
you do, Teflon.
it's,
Let's hear it.
Always gotta be on the
I'm a
opposing
realist. I'm a
side.
realist.
Dang.
I'm a realist. I'm sorry. Like when we speak the word sacrifice and we talk about relationship and everything, I think about the ultimate sacrifice, which is my life. If I feel if I of course I'm be able to forgive somebody if I can decide that I'm gonna sacrifice my life for them. So I think sacrificing my life for my loved one is an ultimate sacrifice. It's the best that I can give, the only that I can give. When you make that determination about somebody, that speaks volumes. That's powerful.
When you say sacrifice your life, what does that look like? What does that mean to you?
Um, we walking down the street, right? And I take a bullet for you.
Oh, like sacrifice, like sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice
Sacrifice,
your life.
sacrifice.
Yeah. I felt that for my wife, you know. I felt that for my children. You know what I'm saying? That's deep.
Yeah, that I'll
So
die for you love is deep.
yeah.
That is deep. I ain't had that yet, so I guess I'm still looking for
Me
my.
neither. I haven't even had the kind that make me call your
So that's
name.
why I
Hey, you
disagree.
talking
I
about
say
dying for somebody? I can't even ask you
well,
your name.
sacrifice isn't
Okay.
just compromising. I mean, you have to make a compromise in order to decide that, you know what, I'll take a bullet for this person. I guess I'm kind of close to it because I spent 20 years in the military doing that for people that I had, you
Like,
know, lesser feelings for.
For
we just
us,
have the
right?
wig at least, just to
I was
an
contracted
arm,
to
a
do
butt
that.
cheek, or something. Because I wanted to die.
The
somebody,
pinky toe?
somebody
We
What
take
said
it
type
from
the
the
of
word
leg.
Why
sacrifice,
I
right?
gotta die? No,
We
You
just
gotta
said
kidding.
sacrifice, didn't we? I mean,
somebody say
I mean,
give
when
him a
shit
I
leg.
get
mean,
real,
Jesus.
like what's that man gonna do, or what that woman gonna do for you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, Americans are safe right now. There's people in different countries and stuff that really have to really prove they love. You know what I'm saying? War torn countries right now. Showing them, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's real. They having different panels right now. So they ain't just sacrificing, oh, that this person talked too much or this person pee the bed or some shit. I don't know. Like, but like, you know, it get deeper than that too. So
You
that's what
pee in
I'm
the bed,
saying.
I'm
That I
leaving.
think the sacrifice one is stronger than forgiving. Because you're already forgiven for if you sacrifice.
Right. Not
Yeah, you
Peter
pee the
B.
bed, I'm
I
out.
was like, Peter,
I'm
babe.
out.
Try to lighten it up a little
Ain't,
bit.
ain't no
He's like,
sacrifice in
he's like, I
that.
was talking about dying. I had to bring
I'm
it back
talking
a
about
little
death
bit.
and stuff, so I'm gonna bring it back to the,
You know,
So,
I
go ahead.
pulled back I pulled back the comments, and there's one that just dinged me in the head that Andre wrote, because Andre been talking since the beginning, and
Yeah.
this is where is he put, fuck love, do I trust you? Do I know you're going to do what's best despite emotions? So this is the thing, okay? This is I want to see how old Andre is. How you see? Oh, he's 40. Am I seeing that 46? Andre, the thing
Yeah.
is, as we grow older, and we should know better at one point in our lives. Like, what do we when I go to talk to someone, and they'll be like, I already know what I want. I'm already 50 years old. I already know. I know where my mindset is. You know how I am financially. You know what I want to do. When you encounter someone, you already know what you want. Either is it going to be love or sacrifice. So like they say, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Think about it. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does the love come first, or does the sacrifice comes first? Like, how are you going to
Mm.
make that choice? But you know what? I say like this, you have to be friends first with whoever. You have to really, before you get to that, walk in the park, or daycare, they can love you and still hurt you, right? But you know what? You cannot think that far ahead. See, that's the problem. We you 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 got to think about now. You got to think about what's going on right now in your face. You're going too far ahead. You're going too far ahead. You're already thinking, right? You're already saying, oh, we can get hurt by anything, by anyone.
You're
it
you're
doesn't
already
it
putting that
doesn't matter.
negative. You're putting that negative energy in the
Yeah,
atmosphere
you
by
already,
saying stuff
right.
like
You
that.
already put that toxic energy out of there. Like, oh, you know, you have to take your time. Attraction comes first. Attraction comes first. Everything else follows based on what you put into it. But you see, again, the first thing you have to learn is what you're gonna do. What are you gonna be friends? Like, what are you gonna sacrifice together as friends? What are you going to learn from each other as friends? Because you know what? I have three besties and they're males. We've never spoken sexually to each other. We've never hit on each other. I learn from them the same way they learn from me. Like, we learn from each other. Like, men and women can be friends. I believe that. It don't have to be sexually. I know Tuffy for like forever. Like, he is the coolest. A lot of my bouncers, like, we can speak off off tag. Like, we could text each other every single day. I have a gentleman that has been texting me now for 4 years.
4 years.
hmm and
Jesus.
we've never we know we talk every single day. Like, and the thing is that it doesn't have to be sexual. People are like, oh, this is a dating app. You can do this app the way you want to do.
Mhm,
You
I
take it the way you want to take it. You could say, okay, it's a dating app. Okay. But there's people here to date. But you know what? I take it for something else.
Right.
I give you me, and that's it. You ain't getting no more than that.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah,
When
you
I
can.
go ahead.
hmm Go ahead.
Go, no, go ahead.
I thought Avante was gonna say something.
I
I
said
was waiting
I
for
hear
Avante.
you.
I was waiting for the birthday girl. Birthday
I
girl.
hear you. No,
I
I can
didn't realize that until everybody was throwing cake at you.
no, I agree. Tag actually, a lot of people call it a dating app, but
Right.
it has different elements. And just
hmm
because one thing starts off as such, that doesn't mean that they don't, they have to be constricted into that one thing. So I just feel like Tag is not just a dating app. You don't
Uh-huh.
have to go to McDonald's and just get fries. They do have burgers, so so
Oh,
Preach
I
it,
just
girl.
feel like
Preach it.
a lot of people get it confused, and you're right in with everything you said. You in every situation, because you can use the airport as a dating place, because you can find anyone at any point at any time in your life to
Mhm.
date
Church,
and to
bookstore,
yeah.
supermarket,
So
street,
um,
bus stop. Go ahead.
we stop have to
Movies.
we have to stop confining different areas of our lives as this is what this is for. Like, this app is for dating. Like, no, let's not look at dating like that. And that's where I think a lot of us get caught up, is because we're looking for dating on an app. But you don't know. You go to Home Depot, you can probably find the person that you're looking for there.
I
it's kind
love
of
Home
funny that
Depot.
you said
So,
that, right? It's kind of funny you
You
said that
know,
because I used to do this thing, right? When I would go to the grocery store or wherever it was, I had this thing, right? And I'd be like, I'm about to meet my soulmate in this store. And I used to do it for forever. Like, I used to do it every time. And then it's like, I think as time went on, I was like, people are too busy looking at their phones to meet the eyes of a stranger anymore. And I
Yes.
stopped doing it. And I used to get so excited every time I'd go to a store. I'd be like, I'm about to meet my soulmate today. And one day, he didn't end up being my soulmate, but one day I went to the grocery store and I was talking to a lady behind me in line, and I started to laugh about something. And this guy turned around and he looked at me and he's like, he just looked at me like he had seen the love of his life. I promise you. And I went out, paid for my stuff. The lady ahead of me, she didn't have enough money. And so I paid for her stuff. It was milk and eggs and bread. It was something so simple, right? And so I paid for her stuff. So it took me a little longer to come outside. I went outside and this guy stood there and he's like, "What took you so long?" And I'm looking behind me like, "Who is you talking to?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I didn't catch your name, but my name is," we'll just call him Nicholas. "My name is Nicholas, and I just had to know your name. When I heard you laugh, I have to know your name. And I would really like to know if I could take you out sometime." And I'm telling you, y'all, my face delivered me, because I was like, what? I don't know my name right now, sir. But it never happened to me before. So I was like, I always said that was going to happen. It was the one time that I didn't say it that I actually had met somebody. It didn't turn out to anything later on. It ended up being crazy, but that's besides the point. But when I think about like the power to forgive or the willingness to sacrifice, I feel like true love is not until you make a sacrifice. I don't believe love is true until you make some sort of sacrifice. That could be foregoing other partners. That could be foregoing, habits. It could be just to separate yourself from your bubble. You know what I mean? That wall that you have up. And for me, that's a hard bargain. For me to let my guard down, that's a hard bargain. If I let that wall down, that's a sacrifice, because I'm so comfortable there. But I think they kind of go hand in hand too, because the power to forgive, we're not all perfect. I'm not perfect. You might need to forgive me. You will have to forgive me at some point, because of I have trust issues. I have things that I know are not always going to be perfect. I'm not a perfect person. So I definitely think they kind of go hand in hand. But if y'all are just pulling up, you're definitely late. It's almost over. We do have one little part. But every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find us on the Red Room Talk. We're at my favorite part of the night. This question is just for me. This is the Ask Jen Host Hot Seat question. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to know for this week's Hot Seat question. If you want your question to be featured, go to Instagram and find that Host Hot Seat question post and submit your question. This week, Mr. Everything wrote in and asked, "What are the major ingredients in love?" This is a question just for me, so this is my answer. First, passion. The biological part of love. This is the spine-tingling sensation that moves us towards romance. Intimacy. Part 2. The emotional part of love. Love without intimacy is only a hormonal illusion. You can't desire another person over the long haul without really knowing that person. Intimacy has a best friend or soulmate quality about it. We all want someone who knows us better than anyone else and still accepts us. So intimacy is huge, and it doesn't mean sexual. Intimacy could just be reading a book together. It could be telling you why I cried during a certain movie. Intimacy has levels, okay? It's not just a physical love. Commitment is the third ingredient, the willful part of love. Commitment looks towards a future that cannot be seen and promises to be there until death do us part. Commitment creates a small island of certainty in the swirling waters of uncertainty. Commitment secures love for our partner when passion burns low and intimacy wanes. Because just know, at some point, it may get quiet. It may get boring. It may get dull. You know, that 3-year itch, I don't know if you've ever heard that. But it happens in relationships. You fall in and out, I think, into that deep love several times throughout a relationship. But the last part for me, anyways, is communication. That's the hugest thing to me, actually. Without communication, which I find to be the glue to a relationship, there would be no relationship, because how could you learn your partner's wants and needs? How can you hear your partner? I think communication overruns a lot of things, and trust, which comes with communication. All of these things kind of come back to communication. And we're not talking about just verbal communication, but watch Avonte's, when she sits back, and I could tell she ain't got to say nothing. She gets that look. If you know her, she gives that nonverbal communication. You know what I mean? So communication is not just verbal. Watch someone's body language. If you get to know your partner enough, you'll know those cues. If you are just pulling up, this has been the Red Room Talk, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's almost over. Tonight's topic was what was it? Sorry.
Love conquers all.
Is love really enough to conquer all? Sorry, y'all. Is love really enough to conquer all? But now I would like to wrap up the show with a quote, because every week we come to this place of healing. We come to this, we wrap it all up with a quote. So this week's quote is, there is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that love will not heal. No door that enough love will not open. It makes no difference how deep set the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If you could love enough, you would be the happiest and most powerful being in the world. Emmett Fox. This has been the Red Room Talk, y'all. Make sure you hit all these beautiful guests with a favorite. I'm going to let them go ahead and outro themselves, and we'll play some music for that. But make sure y'all tap in with all these people. By the end of this, y'all, them top 3 gifters do get a graphic. So make sure y'all hit that gift box before the song is over at the end. But go ahead, Miss Avonte Wright, and start us off with your outro and let us know about yourself one more time.
Oh, hey y'all, I'm Avonte. My birthday was yesterday. Thank you guys for the gift. I'm a Scorpio in all aspects. Whatever you hear about Scorpios, that's true. She is I. A little crazy, but also loving, and also thank you, Richard. I'm a little crazy, but I'm extremely loving and gifted. I'm a protector, a healer, and I'm very spiritually inclined. That's me.
Audrey said definitely crazy. Well, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm the beginning and I'm the end. So I got everybody's characteristics. Aries, Taurus, we carry it all. So you will never we carry many faces. But anyway, yeah. I do go live most of the time, not on the weekend when I'm at work, because I work from home. And most of the time, my room is no nonsense. My room is definitely no nonsense. Like, um, if you don't want to hear the truth, don't come in my live, because I'll tell you real quick. Honesty, that's all that comes out of my mouth. Ain't nothing lies about coming out my mouth. And it's quiet. The vibes are quiet. We talk about. I was trying to do yesterday my Halloween X-rated Jeopardy, but I don't know what was wrong with my bouncers yesterday. I don't know if it was late. It was past their bedtime. But yeah, I like to have fun. I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people, and because I am a people person, I pick up people in the street. And I be trying to look mean, and I be like, "Don't I look mean enough?" They're like, "Nope." Okay, no problem. But
What about you?
thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen.
Of course. I've
Thank you,
enjoyed
Jen.
having you so much.
Mm.
Well, Jen, I've been promising to come to your show for the longest.
A year.
Huh?
For a year. This was
Oh,
true love
yeah.
sacrifice.
Year?
This was true
Well,
love
no, year.
sacrifice tonight. I'm just
There
kidding.
wasn't no year. Oh my gosh, she added on
She
some
said
time.
a
But anyway,
year.
but I truly enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed it, and I appreciate it.
Awesome.
You're doing a good thing here on Tag, and you actually represent what I like to represent here on Tag is positivity, protecting the energy, we form a good vibe demographic on here. And that's what I'm about. So King Teflon, anytime y'all want to vibe, y'all come through. I'm up in here drawing, I'm doing, we talking, grown folk talk, you know what I'm saying? My favorite thing is let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
And he will.
Yeah. We'll sit there. We'll unpackage it, and I'm an Aquarius, by the way. Um, so
Oh, you're
I
behind me.
excuse me.
I say you're behind me. What is
No,
it?
I'm not.
January what?
No, I'm not behind you. I am the air. Okay, you breathe me, man.
I am
You
the L.
understand? I am not behind you.
Heritage.
I am the
I
king
am
of
the
The
the air.
month,
L.
the month after me. I'm
You are Earth.
sorry.
You are Earth.
Like
Sorry.
finally,
We all have a purpose.
that me right in front of my face, and I just
Sorry, babe.
I am not behind you.
and
I'm
that right
all
there
with
sums up Teffy as a whole. That exact sentence sums him up as a whole. Okay.
A
Nah,
lot
but
of
I'm a
tension in
people.
here now.
I'm for the community. You know what I'm saying? We are community thought based and freedom mindset type people. So um, we love to like congregate.
And he's
And
an
get.
artist. Don't forget that he's a phenomenal artist.
I'm an artist.
Phenomenal.
Were you
Come on.
drawing right now?
He
Yeah.
draws. Let's
Yeah.
see what you got. Can we
Let's
just see
see
what
what
you got
it
real
is,
quick?
like the big reveal.
It's really his therapy, I think. But
Yeah.
he's
Well, I mean, I
definitely a
got stuff
phenomenal
all over
artist.
the place. Let's see. I got stuff right here that
I
I
want to
was,
know what you was drawing right now. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh. Let's see. I was trying to
Like
charge
I
my
do the
phone.
diamond art, but I can't show you the diamond art I'm doing because it's
While we're waiting for him, G-Way, let us
So,
know what you got going on.
so
Oh,
this is my mom.
what's that?
Ooh, that's
That's
beautiful.
working
See, I love
on.
when he does color.
And then what I was doing outside was this. So I'll show you. I have like little stations everywhere. So I was doing this, and I was filling in the background the whole time we was talking.
Right. I just wanted to see what you were doing while we were talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
G White.
G-Way,
Uh,
let us know what you got going on.
of course, it's your co-host G-Way or No Way. Y'all can catch me here every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I got something going on every day. Sunday, make sure y'all come tune in. If y'all like football, we got the football on those Sundays. Monday, we got Hood Feud, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, season 2. If you want to win a jet, hit the DM. I put you on the show. There is no entry fee. Tuesday, I got the sports block. Wednesday, we got Wildin' Out with G-Way. Thursday, I got Getting Lit. Friday, I got the red light special, you, me, and R&B. I got something going on every night of the week. I guarantee if you
man,
tune
I
in,
got a
you hit
red
the
light
fave,
special
I got
too.
you something. Oh, it ain't as special as mine. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Trust me, mine is very, 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 very special.
Ooh.
Mine is mucho
I,
caliente, mi
hold,
amor,
hold,
mucho caliente.
hold. And I heard
Well, I
all
have a red room
these
talk
these signs in
every
here.
Saturday at 10
What's
p.m.
yours?
Eastern Standard Time, y'all.
Make
Um,
Leo King of the Jungle. Right.
Oh,
That's all I got to say.
Ooh, rawr,
opposite of
rawr,
the zodiac. What's up, brother?
Yeah,
well, I'm
rawr,
Jen
rawr,
and Juice,
rawr.
y'all. I'm the host of the Red Room Talk. You can find me every what? Every
Saturday.
Saturday at 10
Saturday.
p.m.
Saturday.
Eastern Standard Time
Saturday. I
on the
gotta
Red
come.
Room Talk, y'all. It has been phenomenal having y'all here. I'm not gonna. If you want to know anything else, tap in with me on Instagram and make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, y'all. But y'all have, this has been one of my favorite shows ever. Avonte, I just want to first of all say a happy late birthday. But I and Miss Jalen, both of you, and Teffy, you three have no idea how happy this made me tonight. You three are three of my favorite people. Avonte, though, I really gotta hand it to you. I was so nervous to even ask you, but I am so grateful that you're here tonight, especially this the day after your birthday. You could have been anywhere and you're here with me. So I definitely am very grateful for you being here. But this is probably by far one of my favorite episodes. But make sure y'all tap in with all of these beautiful people, y'all. Hit the favorite on them. There are definitely some very special people that hold a dear place in my heart. G-Way also, he knows what it is. G-Way or No Way. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that song so we can end the YouTube video, y'all. But by the end of the song, those top 3 gifters are getting a graphic made by me. So don't be afraid to hit that button. Can I see those juice boxes in the comments though?
Quantum Sounds Production. What up, sound?